Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Choice Podcast. And I'm here with a very special guest here. If you guys haven't seen some of her amazing films, some of her amazing videos, I'm truly honored to have Miosha Bean, an amazing filmmaker, podcaster, phenomenal actor, model, has won over 11 awards, 5 nominations. I'm truly honored. I mean, I'm getting my nerves ready because I'm like, wow, this is such a big deal for me. So please welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm, like I said, so honored to have you on the show. I've been studying your work, reading about you. I have so many questions. I'm so glad that you have took the time of your busy schedule to talk with me, and we'll just see how this goes.
Of course, of course. I'm glad you reached out to me. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, no problem. So I was reading up on you. You were born in Gainesville, Florida. What was it like growing up there?
Ooh. Um Gainesville, gosh, it was very college town, very a lot of young people, very you know, just small town kind of vibes. It was good. I had a good childhood. I always knew though, even in Florida, that wasn't my destination. I can't, I don't know if that makes sense, but I always, I felt like out of place there. And even at a young age. And I remember telling my parents, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll be here forever, but this is cool. After high school, I left like immediately. So
Awesome. And I was reading up on you and saw that you've been like starting this since the age of 7, from filmmaking and acting. Like, how did all that start? And did you know at the age of 7 that this is what you wanted to do?
it's crazy. At such a young age, I remember like there's pictures of me holding this, like I was, you know, holding the camera. My mom has like countless of like pictures of me of like just I don't know. I was just that kid that kind of was always drawn to that. And then I remember when I got a little older, up some size, when I kind of was more like understanding what it is. And I always give I'm gonna give my brother credit. My brother, he he was in TV's film production, so brought a camera home one day, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this device?" Of course, it's VHS, so it's not digital at this time because kind of tells you how old I am now.
Shout out to the VHSs.
um, so I got this. I started recording like little clips around the house, just anywhere I go. You know, and I'm the youngest of. There's four of us, and I was just, I was a loner. So no, I'm the baby, and there's a kind of a gap between us.
Mhm.
And my brother was someone that I was always wanted to be around and be like, and then a camera came and then I just fell in love with it. But I knew for sure, like when I was like 11 or 12, I was like, I remember telling my parents, I was like, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to do that. And my parents were like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I remember when I was 15 years old, I just never stopped. I just, obviously there was something to this because I was, putting so much. My parents would see pictures of me, my work. I was in art. And then I was like, I want to do acting. I want to do this. And so they put me in an acting class
So,
in Jacksonville, Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I got into a modeling acting school. And I got, they would drive me to school. And, uh, that was a bit of a ways from Gainesville, the small town, but I was so happy to be, I'm actually expressing myself and and I'm like, I get to meet people that are like just like-minded like myself because I've always been kind of out of place, even in school. And
mhm.
I never knew exactly where I fit in. But there I was like, oh, this feels good. This feels great. And now I'm 16. I started a YouTube channel, and was getting like, I was doing short films as well at the time and putting them on YouTube. So, and I didn't think YouTube was, I guess I, when YouTube was good,
Oh yeah.
you know what I
Around
mean?
like that old like 05 through like 2012. That's when YouTube was at its best.
Yeah, I got YouTube partnership at that time, and I was doing vlogging and vlogging my acting, courses and stuff like that, and modeling, because everyone was like, you should model, you're so cute, but I'm really short, so after that, after that, I just, YouTube was really cool because I got to meet people online that were watching my stuff and give me feedback on my work. And I was pumping out short films after short films, blogs and blogging. And I got over 15,000 something subscribers. And I remember some of those videos, I would get like 100,000, 200,000, a million views. And I was like, holy crap, like people are really messing with it. Like, this is awesome.
Yes.
Then I think I got a little older, and I was like, okay, I told my parents, I was like, okay, well, I know for a fact this is, you know, I wanted to film. I want to do film. And the I want to do this. So I remember at 19, 18 or 19, I met this rapper in Florida. I'll never forget it. And he was like, hey, there's a music video I would love for you to shoot. And I wasn't really doing music videos like that. I want to do more features and movies, that kind of, I'm in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly in the thriller and the horror psychological genre, particularly, that I was doing. But I don't know, something about it was like, oh, that's different. Why not? And, I listened to the song. I really liked it. It was called The Rocky Balboa. I'll never forget. Yeah, I know, right? The time. And he was like, we want to shoot it in Pensacola. How do you feel about that? I'm like, let's go. So I remember going, and we got the boxer Roy Jones Jr. in the music video.
Mm-hmm.
At the time,
So cool.
I had no idea who he was. So I'm oblivious. I'm like, oh, look at this guy just punching in the ring. We're at his house, shooting this music video. And I was like 18, 19 at the time. I think it turned 19 at the time. And then after that, the video came out, and it did really well. And then I found out, like, he was like a celebrity. I was like, oh my God, like, this is, I had no idea. I'm not boxing savvy at all. And I remember some things happened with that trip. And I remember Roy sat down with me, and he said, hey, how do you feel about staying here and shooting, my videos for me? And I was like, yeah. So I remember calling my parents. I was like, you're not I'm staying here for a while. I'll let you know what happens. And he put me up in a a crib, a nice place. His family was amazing, and I met a lot of his beautiful family, still good friends of his family to this day. And yeah, he gave me a chance. I was there for 2 years, working for his company and him, and just, I learned so much. Yeah, that was the start of it all, as they say.
That is so cool. The fact that you got to not only just meet, but get to know boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. and, just be like, wow, like, just starting out as a young teenager and gaining that experience. And I remember Roy Jones actually was rapping too at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that. Yeah, I think he had that song, Y'all Must Have Forgot. I love that song. That is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So Miosha, who are some of your influences in filmmaking?
Ooh, that's a good question. Influences, there's so many. I would say, okay, so cinematographer wise, because cinematography is, I went to film school for particularly that. Um, I would say Roger Deakins, who is he's the one that did, God, there's so many, like, he's done No Country for Old Men, he's done just countless of films. And I think I remember like watching like, every film I watch of his, I'm like, wow, I just want to get that. I want to be that good one day. Like whatever he's done, like I aspire for that to that level of knowledge of cinematography or just, you know, because I think, you know, cinema and the film language, it is a language. It's so it speaks to you, you know, when you see something visually like appealing, you're like, wow, that's touches me different, you know, that hits me. So definitely Roger Deakins. Hmm, Alfred Hitchcock is why I wanted to be a filmmaker from the jump. I remember one summer I we rented oh god, it was the Alfred Hitchcock series. Alfred Hitchcock's Presents series, and one summer, and I just binge watched all of his short films. And I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to do. I want to do this. And yeah, he's why he's like up there for me of like what I kind of I want to be the female version of that. Yeah. So that's definitely some influencers. Oh, and for female, I got to give it to her, Regina King. Love
Yes,
her.
that's leveraging.
I got to meet her. She's absolutely a wonderful woman. Wonderful.
That is amazing. And you're well on your way to become that. I mean, you've done
Thank you.
so much in your career so far. Like it's truly amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
It
welcome.
feels like I never it feels like I don't do enough, but it's great to hear that.
That's I noticed something about like some people that I've had in the show. They said that same thing, and it's like, are you crazy? Look at all the stuff you've accomplished, and it's I guess that's the way of keeping yourself fueled and hungry. You know, you don't even think about some of the accomplishments that you've done already.
It's funny. I wish I do that more. I wish I would love to really be in the moment and really absorb everything, but everything is just so fast
Mm-hmm.
that it's fleeting moments. And sometimes I have to like on vacation out, that's when I'll think of certain things like, oh yeah, I did do that. Oh yeah, you know. But it's been like some time since some years since I've been on one. I gotta get on one soon.
Definitely. Yeah, especially with you living in Los Angeles, I can only imagine the fast pace of just that city life, the constant hustle. Like it has to be crazy.
Absolutely insane. Mm-hmm.
So, what is some advice that you would give to an up and coming filmmaker that you wish you have gotten early on in your career?
Ooh. Um, be patient. I and really enjoy being where you are. Like it's gonna be okay. Like don't rush the process. Um, I wish that I would have had that. I was such a person that's just like I don't think I had the childhood that I mean I missed prom. I missed a lot of things because I was so focused on you know just this stuff. And I mean everything else that was happening at my age that most kids experience, I didn't experience it. But maybe that's why I got to what I need to get to because I was so focused. But I feel like you should definitely take time to be patient, enjoy the flowers. It's all gonna be okay. It's really gonna be okay. Just it's a process. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, I wish I had. I just was too in a hurry to I don't know. I was just too crazy. I was like, I gotta do it. No, no, no. Like I wasn't
Gotta
my
make it.
age.
Gotta make it.
Yeah, like and I think that with that mentality, it can be kind of dangerous. You know what I mean? Because you can't think that way. You can't think look at other people their success and say, you know, maybe you could be inspired by someone, but don't you know wish that because you don't know what that person has to do in order to maintain that or do that. It's you just never know. So just enjoy your stay in like your lane and your process and everything is going to be okay. Yeah.
That's some great advice right there.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And you're the founder of your own production company, MVB Films, that you founded in '03.
Cool.
Like, that's just amazing. Like, to think that. What are some of the challenges that you had to overcome starting MVB Films?
Oh, well, I mean, I think it was really a natural progression, having that because MVB Films is just literally Miosha Valencia Bean Films. And I just wanted something that sets me apart from, you know, people. And I know you have to have your own entity, you have to own it yourself because then it's like, and this industry is very, I don't know, it's just, you can't be passive. You have to be you have to be very assertive to get anything. So I was like, I gotta, in order to be quote unquote taken seriously, right? You have to kind of, LLC that. But I was too young at the time to do that. So my parents did it for me. And then all of my work was owned and, copywritten. So everything was good, which so we covered those bases. So I think the challenges I think with that is just figuring out how to do it at first. And then, but thank God for a few people in my life that I know have back that know how to do it. That was very helpful. But you just have to really research and do the work. Um, Honestly, it's yeah. But there was really after I did that, everything was happened fairly quickly. So I got kind of lucky on that, I guess.
Definitely. Well, I'll say more than luck. I mean, it's just amazing. Like I was reading off the awards that you won. Will fall into my next question. From you won best up and coming director, you've won best thrill for Sixth Floor, best choreographed action of our awards. I mean, that's some amazing stuff. And I know it's gonna be hard to like pick. So I'm gonna ask though, like which award like meant the most to you and why?
Mm. Um, Oof, that's a really good question. I don't think I've ever had this question before at all of my interviews. So I'll give you that. Hey,
Thank you.
um, that is a really tough one. Meant the most. Okay, I'll say this. I remember my first award. I think it was the New Jersey Film Festival Award. I think that one was my favorite because I remember it. I was like, all the other ones. I mean, it's great, but I mean, I just don't like. It's not something I'm glued to. It was just like, oh, okay, cool. All right, next project. But that one I would say I remember because I distinctively remember it was in New Jersey because I was who was I in 2012? I'm young. I'm a newcomer. I'm an African American woman. There's all these things that you gotta be, all these boxes that I check off. And I remember they called me and they're like, you won the award of blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? That's crazy. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna send you this award. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I didn't think I was gonna get an award. I just submitted my film just to see what will happen. You know what I mean? But I remember feeling that I have that trophy still as it was a trophy and they sent it to me. And I was like, wow, I got a trophy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, and a lot of people called me. They were like, wow, you're so young. You're how old? I was like, so that was I still have that trophy that I do have, and my parents have it at their house, so it's at their house. So I was like, okay, I can do this. That I remember. That's why I remember it because I was like, okay, it's possible.
Definitely. And that's awesome that your parents still have that for you and they keep it because yeah, I was looking to her words. I'm like, wow, like you have 11, and I'm like, I gotta ask which one means the most, because
all of them.
yeah, I know, like, like all of us like picking your favorite child, but I'm like, there's always that one where it's like, wow, I can't believe I got this.
Right. Exactly.
So Miosha, who are some of the actors that you would love to work with in the future?
Ooh. Oh man. Okay. It's a lot of actors. Um, I love Mama O. I know she's not an actress, but I love Oprah. Oprah's like when I'm somebody I would love to work with. Um, Viola Davis for sure. I think she's a powerhouse
Oh
of a
yeah,
woman. She just does everything right. I don't know. She's just amazing.
she's one of the most believable actors like ever. No
Yeah,
matter what role she has, she just kills it.
she kills it. She really does. God, Denzel, of course.
Mhm.
There's so many people. Um, Nicole Kidman is, I love her. She's definitely on my list of somebody. Angelina Jolie. All my friends are gonna hear this are gonna start laughing. I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I remember meeting her at Maleficent 2 her premiere, and I was just like, like this is crazy. She's not real. Like who? Wow. And then she shook my hand. I was like, I'm never washing this hand again.
Oh
No, but
man.
Angie, I love you. Okay, it's not like that. I love you so much. No. No, but yeah, she's definitely someone. You know, so many amazing actors out there. It's just hard to put it in a box. But I will say, I love Daniel Kaluuya. I actually got to meet him. I met him at the Bank of America on Pico and Fairfax. I was like, before this is when he did Get Out. This is before
Mhm.
Get Out came out, and I remember seeing trailers for it, and he was in front of me, and I was like waiting to like, I was like, yo, it's Daniel Kaluuya, and I said hi, and he was like, hello, you know, he's talking British or whatever. I was like, oh my god, I love it, and yeah, like he was very pleasant. But yeah, I love those are kind of some of the people that I definitely yeah want to work with for sure.
That's awesome. And one day it's gonna happen. We're manifested. It's gonna happen.
Listen, if anything, everything I said, Angelina Jolie.
We're calling y'all Angelina Jolie. Make it happen.
Call me.
I know, right? Call me, please.
Yeah.
And you've worked with some amazing actors already so far in your career. Like, I wanted to ask you about the horror noir history of Black horror. It had
Yes.
some amazing actors in it. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. I mean, experience was fantastic. I remember getting the call. So it was shout out to Ashley Blackwell. Well, she's been following my career since I was in my early teens. So shout out to her, you know, because it would have never happened if she didn't like keep up with me. But that's like an online, you know, relationship that we had over the years. And she was like, hey, how do you feel about talking about Black history? You know, in the sense of like, the horror genre. And I was like, yeah, totally down. Like, let me know when, where, let's go, make it happen. And yeah, I got there, and Xavier Bergens, the fantastic director that he is, good friend of mine. Shout out to him. He's an amazing director. He killed that documentary. Um, we shot it at a movie theater, and I remember it was so like surreal. It was really dope. And you walk in and you see all these amazing people. You're like, oh my god, like, is this actually real? Like, is this a dream? You know, because you're just not even like in the moment. You're just like, this is crazy. Like, who am I to like? I'm not even like on. I've never been, on a Screen Guild, list at all. You know, I'm not on those kind of levels yet. And to be in that room was just super magical, and to be a part of that project was, and it was actually monumental. I took it because I knew it was very important to do for the culture, not just for Black people specifically, but it's for everyone to watch. It's a very I felt like that, and that's as a filmmaker and a creator, I think it, you want those projects that are monumental. And I feel like this is definitely one that is going to be here forever, for the culture and for people to know and learn about things. I mean, I learned so much myself. I met Rachel True.
Yep.
She's absolutely amazing, right from The Craft. I love her. Shout out to you. She's great. She's a wonderful person. We said we went to the premiere, and we sat together. All of us did, and Keith David was there from The Thing. I mean, everybody was there. William Crane, everyone. And that was amazing. It was cool to go to see something. I mean, it was a packed house. We had the movie premiere in the Egyptian Theater, and we were we were watching it. And Rachel leans over. She's like, "Look, there you are." I was like, I was like, look, Rachel, that's you. And yeah, it was surreal to get people to like, like dude, we love your work. And to this day, that's definitely one of the projects that everyone like knows me on. That's the one that people know me about. Like, and it's being shown in schools and colleges, which is
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing.
Definitely. It was such a great film, and I can't even imagine that experience. Like, that's why I wanted to ask. 'Cause I'm like, there's so many great actors in there. How many people was just, had their hands on that, and it was just awesome. And of course, that happened way before the world went crazy with this whole pandemic and stuff too.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask about that too, because I know you created the film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero Redemption. I know it came out in 2020. I'm not sure if production was going on around that time, but if it was, what was that experience like having to create a film during the height of the pandemic?
Well, it's crazy. I'm someone who's nuts. I'm like, I don't care what is going on. Like, nothing's going to stop me from creating. But we, obviously there was that shutdown that we had. And so we had to, that was kind of very, for me, it was like, okay, I'm not used to sitting down ever. But it was, we shot that to 2019 a little bit as well. And then we shot some of it in 2020. So it was very, other people, we went through it delicately, we made sure everyone was safe and, nothing crazy happened. No one was sick, thank God, went through protocol, things like that. But it was an experience. It was just another challenge. Like, it's already hard to make a film anyway, with such deadline, but this was like, you can't get sick, you don't want to get sick. Somebody could die. That's heavy. It's a heavy situation to think about. So on top of that, you're like delegating, you're directing all these people, and you're like, well, hope, just hope for the best, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it turned out great, and it was a really fun experience. And even on, Anatomy, my amazing friend Alan, I love that man. He's an amazing martial artist, French actor, good friend of mine since I know him now for almost 12 years. So I think for me, it's like, I've been very fortunate to have some really good friends who, want to create. So it happened because we, obviously I believe in him, he believes in me. And, we just did it. We were like, let's make it happen. And we did, we pulled it off, I hope.
Oh yeah, definitely pulled it off. I was watching a little bit of it. It's on Amazon, and then I was watching, the trailer, looking at it. I was like, wow, this is really good. And I believe that's the one that you won the award for best fight scene, the choreograph.
Yeah. We had Billy Blanks did a choreography from Taibo. You remember the guy from Taibo?
Yeah.
We shot at some of his at his dojo. And I remember we were rehearsing some shots, and he was like, listen, I got a cool trick. And he got this broomstick. I'll never forget it. And he put like the pants over the broomstick and the shoe. And he's like, he's had the, he's like, hold the camera. It's the guy's holding it. He's like, just swipe it this way. See? I'm like, I didn't know that. That's a really cool like camera trick. Cause I'm thinking like like the guy's gonna kick his leg over here. He's like, nah, it's too much work. By the time that happens, it's gonna happen. I'm like, wow, I learned a lot. So choreography is everything.
Definitely. That's a really cool trick too to learn. And I've seen your most recent trailer for the film Green High Point that's coming out in August 5th, 2022. Can you speak on that film and what the world and my peeps can expect from it without giving too much away? Of course.
Think Twilight Zone with a little bit of I would say Jordan Peele-esque vibes. I love that man. Man's amazing. Yes. He can do no wrong in my eyes. Then that project was original. That was an old project that I just I remember making that literally in last year. And yeah, it was something I actually, the script was like, when I wrote the script in 2012 and I saw it again like last year, and I'm like, oh, it was just I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I read it and I'm like, this is trash. I thought this was good. So I went back and I rewrote it. Now, now that now I'm part of a writers group, so I learned so much, and I take courses, and I really find writing fascinating, and I love it now. I used to hate it, by the way. The worst thing ever. I was like, oh, I hate this. But once you learn, it's like, oh, okay, I like it. And so that's, I mean, that I saw the script and I was like, I'm gonna make this short because I didn't have we raised the funds through online, which was cool, which was really cool because right now, LA was people are still like super scared to be together. And I mean, I get it, but I just kept it really small crew, few of my amazing talented actor friends that were a part of that. And shout out to Jarrell O'Neal, Kay Williams. You guys are amazing. They were like, let's do it. And so we made it happen. And they just believe in my crazy stuff. I was like, guys, I appreciate you taking time to do this. And he's in a new, I mean, he did it. And here, let's put it this way. The movie, it's a short. It's not like a feature, unfortunately, because of what happened was after we finished filming, there was a really pretty bad situation that happened that someone broke in, grabbed all the files. So a lot of files were taken. And yeah.
Wow.
But I'm the person that's like, no, we're going to still make this happen. I couldn't do reshoots because they were on movie sets and other things. Were out of town, and then I was like, well, got to make it happen. So I kind of went back and restructured it in a way where I was like, all right, well, we're gonna make this happen because producers, people, gave their money to it. I was like, I got to make it happen because I was gonna be like, nah, we're not doing this, but we're still doing it. So yeah, 8/5/22. I'm excited about it.
That's a crazy story though. Like someone would do that to you. Like, my goodness.
You never know.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to like talk about it. Did you find out who did that?
No, to this day I have no idea. It happened in West LA. I was going to do an editing session and I went to the car. By the time I got back to the car, there was a wind they bust in, not just only my car, it was like maybe like 5-6 other cars on the same like street. And it's a great area too. It's like, what? It was in Broad. Like, it was crazy. I was like, how in the world? Like, this has never happened to me. But they stole a lot of, but I had a backup, but not all the footage. It was, so the camera equipment, they stole everything. So it's pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly. I was devastated, of course, at the time, but I was like, we got to make this happen because I promised everyone that I would. So we're here and we're making it work.
8/5. All my peeps, definitely make sure you guys check that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there's hearing the backstory on that. Wow.
Right? You would never know.
Never would have known. Yeah, now I know. And I love your podcast, Creator to Creator. Like,
thank you.
I've watched some of your episodes, and that's where I actually first discovered you. And I was just like, wow, like I said, you're very well spoken, the way it's shot, and the guests that you have are just amazing. What inspired you to create Creator to Creator?
Actually, and now I started that during the pandemic, when the pandemic just started. Like, that's what inspired me to do it. Because I was like, I got to figure out something. I have to talk to people because I can't keep staring at the same flower for hours on end. This is not healthy. And so I remember starting it, and I called a good friend of mine. He's a radio host. And I was like, dude, I don't know where to start. Like, when it comes to podcasting, I want to do something really, really, like, what do I need? And what avenue do I put it out? Because I did podcasts before in the past, but it was video podcast, mainly just that. It was more like video interviews. And I did a show back in 2016 called Women Talk to Miosha. It was just me interviewing women who are in the industry. And the other one was, I did with my best friend, was Tea Talks with Miosha and Irina, my girlfriend who's an actress from Russia. We have like, we were like, we have great conversations. Let's make it happen. So we did that, and that lasted for 5 seasons.
Awesome.
And then so creators comes, and I'm like, I want to talk to people during the pandemic because we couldn't go anywhere. So I started. My friend gave me some tips to what to do, and I started it, and it was just a pandemic thing. And then after, people were like, no, no, you keep it going. I'm like, really?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's we're here. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's just kind of basically me talking to filmmakers and people who are in the industry. Some are friends, some are people that I want to talk to, and know their story. Uh, yeah, so it just kind of turned into a really big thing, and it's doing really well. Like, it's been nice to hear people's like stories. Like you said, it's fascinating, right? That's what brings us together.
Yes, definitely. That's why I love podcasts, and it's just the story, the journey, like the ups, the downs, and just like even like I've had people on the show, and I read off their accomplishments, and they're like, "Oh wow, I guess I did do that. Wow," like
Right.
it's.
Exactly.
I got another question for you, Miosha. This is a question I like to ask some of my guests because just the answers I get, some are like, "Wow," and some are kind of out there. And you are a very talented woman, have done so much. So I want to ask, what is a hidden talent that your friends, family, or fans don't even know about you yet?
A hidden talent. I'm talentless. I'm just kidding.
I was like, no, you're not.
Um, a hidden talent. I don't know. I mean, I can. mhm. I really don't know. I don't think I don't know. I think everybody know. All my friends know my hidden talent. I get maybe people that that I guess fans. I kind of hate saying that word.
I know, me
Um,
too. I'm like, that's why I like just calling them my peeps. Cause I'm like,
right? It's like, oh, I'm not that person. I'm good. Like my fans. God, it's like, ew. Um, no, the people that maybe that who follow me that don't know, I do. I'm amazing. I can draw very well. So I just haven't done it in a while. I just it's been some years since I've done it, but I'm sure I still have it. But yeah, that I used to run track. That's
oh,
something. So maybe
yeah,
I'm pretty
that's,
fast.
that's awesome. You weren't tracking in like high school and college?
In high school, because college was just film school. I knew in high school that you know standard college was not for me.
Mhm.
You really got to know. You got to know because
Amen to
college
that.
was yes, it's like books, reading. I think I'm done after this. After high school, it's over. I'm done.
Definitely. And there's another question I love to ask all my guests because I just love these answers too. 'Cause I'm a big quote guy, and I want to ask, what is your favorite quote that you lean on during the good times or the
Ooh,
bad times?
so many. There's so many favorite. That's hard.
I try to come up with the tough questions.
Yeah, that's really tough. Like, oof. It might be a Denzel quote. I think I remember seeing something of his in a actors like is either actor interview of his, and oh God, he said, you know, prepare, preparation, prep, you know, he's like, study, and he's like, pursue something like there was like a lot of P's, and then he goes, he's like, yeah, if you prep today, people who prep today are going to be everything's going to be okay tomorrow, whatever, like that. So always be in pursuit, always be willing to learn. And he was like, the future is yours, basically, except something that along those lines. But I love that because I'm all about preparation and just doing the work, the gaining the knowledge, and I think that speaks to me because it's like, you know, you keep doing your thing as you're going through life, right? Everything will you're on that right path. Everything will line up maybe not, it might not go the way you want it to go initially, but it'll be what's right for you and your path. Like it's like that divine, that divine thing that God has for you, because everyone's uniquely made, right? Everyone has a unique path. What's for you is for you, right? And as you're on the pursuit of that and doing your work, everything else will come.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When you were saying the preparation, remind me of a quote I heard Booker T say one time.
Booker T.
When he was like, preparation is the only luck you'll ever have in life. And I was like, huh? When I first heard that. But as I got older and start experience things like trying to stay, prepared and prep myself for things, and it's so true. It's so true. And I'm starting to see it, because sometimes that with all that preparation you do, it just opens up some amazing opportunities, some amazing people, because you prepared yourself, you prepped for it. And, some may call it luck, or hey, sometimes it may be luck, but because you prepared or you try to prep yourself as much as you could, it all happened. So I guess that's what he was trying to say when I first heard that, but that's how I took it.
No, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely.
I love that.
And where can all my peeps and new audience find you on social media to keep up with you and all your amazing films?
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, Miosha Bean Official. I really don't check DMs like that. So email me, please, if you do contact me. Facebook, I'm on sometimes. I'm on Facebook, but I just do stuff to post on Facebook. I'm not really active on there. I have another person that uses my account too that's on there. So they'll be talking to somebody else too. It's not just me. But yeah, my face, if you just Google Miosha Bean, everything will come up, and check me out. Hope you like it.
Definitely. And another thing I love to ask too, because with just everything going on these last 2 to 3 years has been just so crazy, between pandemic and people's personal life challenges that you may face.
Yeah.
Gratitude's been a big thing for me. And it's been really keeping me grounded and rooted, as I keep my sign right here that I love so much. But I wanted to ask you, what are 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now?
That's a good one. I'm very grateful for my parents. They're my rock, and I'm grateful for my family and my friends. And I'm just grateful for life, honestly. I'm grateful to be alive and well and good health. I think that's important to really, to be thankful for that, because a lot of people lost their lives during this pandemic. And we're blessed. We're blessed to be here. So that's what I'm grateful for. Yeah.
Awesome. Definitely, that is awesome. Is there anyone that you would love to shout out for always being just so supportive, and you want to just give thanks before we end up wrapping up?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to my bestie, Irina, if she hears this. She's an amazing friend who I love very, very much. She inspires me every day. Yeah, she's someone that's always got my back, even in the bad times, not just the good. So shout out to her. And my mentor, Ronnie Warner. I love you, man. My agent. And yeah, that's what I want to shout out.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Miosha, for being on the podcast. Like I said, we've covered so much. Is there any one last message you would love to give to all my peeps and new audience before we wrap up?
You know what? Live, love, laugh. That's important. Live your life, love it, and make sure you laugh, because it's good for the soul. That's my mantra. That's what I live by.
Live, love, laugh. That was a great one. Miosha Bean, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.